What's up, y'all? So, I'm Mark Stanback, and I am a production assistant here at ABC11. I know it seems a little early, which, as a production assistant, that's kind of the time you'll be in, like 3:45, 4 o'clock in the morning. You basically set up for live shows, do time cues, set up mics, whatever the anchors need, scripts, laptops, iPads, put everything up for actual show, which starts at about 4:30. So I'm gonna give you a tour of the day in the life of a production assistant from what I do between the hours of 4:30 and 7, which are live shows. Streaming starts at 8. There are cut-ins at 8:28 and 8:56. And after 9, I set up for the 10 a.m. show for the next anchors. For the 10 a.m., I set up for the 10 a.m. show, which also the morning anchors do as well. So shift is about 3:45, 4 o'clock, like I told you, till about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So come along with me. Hope y'all enjoy this in the day of the life of a production assistant. So let's get started with my day. Starts early around 3:40, 3:45. I come in, turn lights on, speak with everyone. After I speak with the director, prep for my mic checks. Mic checks include three mics, 2 for the anchors and 1 for weather. After all checks are made, everything is clear, and I got the okay from the director to set up for my morning show. During this time, I have to set up iPads and on occasion laptops. But for today's shows, they do want laptops. Normally, they don't. So after setting those up, it's time for the show to begin around 4:29, 4:30, and it lasts about 2.5, 3 hours. Ends at around 7 a.m. During the morning shows, they have cut-ins at 8 a.m., a 10 a.m. setup, and today just happened to be 2 interviews. One with News and Observer, and the other one with radio host Karen Clark. So, show starts at 4:30, it goes on to 7. Then I start with my cut-ins at 8, which you see Barbara here. Hello, Barbara, how you doing? The 8 a.m. cut-ins are normally the hot topics of the morning. Hot topics, top stories of the morning, whichever you prefer, you want to look at it that way. But they're like the main topics throughout the morning that we have covered. So we're going to give it to you again at 8 a.m. It's now time for me to set up for interviews. My first interview is the News and Observer. News and Observer is a newspaper company that we've been friends with for X amount of years. Don't ask me because I really don't know off the top of the head. But yeah, News and Observer comes in and they talk about different politics and different political views going on in the media. After that is when I start my roundtable discussion with radio host Karen Clark of 107.5. So she comes in on Fridays and she has all the hot topics in the entertainment, music, whatever, entertainment, whatever you want to hear. You can get all that good stuff from her. I like her. But the highlight of this all is my guy, John Clark's retirement. I've only met him. I've only been around a short time, but in a short time I've been here, I've really enjoyed everyone. John definitely is a bright soul, man, to be around. Always upbeat, always excited and gritty at 3:45 in the morning. A burst of energy, you ask me. But now he's about to retire. So I got a chance to sit down with him and pick his brain about post-retirement and just what he'll miss the most about not being at ABC11 anymore. Here's what he said. Talk about your time here at ABC11 and what it has meant to John Clark.
Well, when I first came here at ABC 11, we were expanding our morning news from a half hour to an hour. So they wanted to add a second anchor. And so it wasn't long before after that we expanded to 90 minutes and then 2 hours, then 2.5 hours. So now with the early morning news and the 10 a.m. news, it's 4.5 hours of news time that I'm on Monday through Friday, beginning at 4:30 in the morning. So that expansion has been amazing. And each time we expanded it, I thought, who's going to be watching? But we found out that the audience wanted to have news at that time of day. And so it's been a great privilege bringing people the news as they get their kids ready for school or they get ready for work. And they just have that TV on to keep them company. Sometimes during big weather events, we're on for hours and hours, just to be a reassuring voice to folks to let them know, hey, we're going to get through this together. And it's been a pleasure hearing from folks on social media saying how much they enjoy watching me on TV. And I'm honored to have been in their homes all these years because there's so many choices out there, or just turn the TV off altogether. I appreciate each and every one of our viewers.
Post-retirement, John, now that you get the chance to kick back in the rocking chair and kick your feet up, besides spending time with your family, what are some of your plans?
Well, usually folks say they're going to spend more time with their grandchildren, but I don't have any grandchildren, so I may have to borrow some. Now, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start work, Lord willing, on a master's degree in biblical exposition. And my wife and I hope, not immediately, but eventually to start a podcast or some kind of internet program to talk about issues of faith. I'm a devout Christian. That's a big part of my life. And I want to use this next phase of my life to glorify the Lord instead of myself. So that's what I have in mind.
Any lasting memories or thanks to ABC 11 and the people around here you want to?
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many wonderful people here at ABC 11. You see us on the screen, but there are many more people behind the scene, like Mark, who's asking the questions, who make us look good and who work so hard and tirelessly to make sure we have the best possible product. I have not gone through, but I have worked with hundreds of them down through the years, and I have very special memories. You know, we can be very serious on the air sometimes because we have a lot of serious issues to talk about. But there's also time for fun. And we joke around during commercial breaks and we laugh and we try to make it more than just a job where we have to deliver the serious news. We're family here, and you know what goes on in your family. And that's a big part of why ABC 11 has been such a special place for me and in my life for 32 years. If I didn't like it here, I wouldn't have stayed that long.
Right. John, thank you for your time and happy retirement.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Barbara, just feel free to add any comments, thoughts, reflections about John that you want to add.
Well, I'm going to miss him so much, but I'm happy for him because he's really paid his dues and he's worked hard, and I know that he's got a lot of plans in the next chapter, and his family's going to be happy to have him home and not getting up in the middle of the night. You know, getting up in the middle of the night is just like, wow. It's so great to be a part of people's mornings, and I know that people love him and are going to miss him, but I know also people go, you know what, John's getting to sleep in now. He's going to have a new chapter, and change isn't always fun, but I think this change for John is going to be good.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
As you know, John is retiring. We all definitely going to miss him. So I just took a minute to get a perspective from all the people he's worked with on the morning show. Talk a little bit about what he's meant to ABC 11 as a whole.
You know, when I first started here, it's not very often that you go to stations and you have people that have been here for so long. And John Clark being here for 30 years, more than 30 years, is something that is just unheard of. And to have someone like him to be a consistent face, a consistent presence and energy on the desk and in this station and newsroom every single day is just such a benefit to us. He's been someone that I've looked to when things get crazy and chaotic as they do in news. He has been a steady person that you can look to for advice, for guidance, and you never have to worry about John Clark getting frazzled or frustrated. He's always going to be even keel and cool, and he's going to help you through. And he's definitely been such an inspiring mentor, and we're really going to miss that, having that around. But we're all better having known John Clark.
Just working with him and knowing that his day is finally coming to an end. When that day comes, how are you going to feel?
I'm going to feel really sad, but I'm so happy for him. I know how much work he's put into this. I know what it's like to wake up every morning at that time, and it's time for him to get a little bit of sleep and enjoy some time with Mrs. Clark, for sure. This has been a long time coming. So even though all of us will be devastated to not see him every morning at 3 a.m. and eating his bowl of cereal, he deserves it.
Thank you. Of course, you and everybody know, and I know you've worked with John for quite a while, and of course, you know he's about to retire. Talk about just what he's meant just to the morning show, to 10 a.m., just overall just being here.
Well, as of this year, I've been here for 3 years, and John was, of course, one of the main pillars that helped to welcome me into this place we call ABC 11, along with Barbara, of course. And from day one, he has been reliable, he has been accountable, and he has been just, again, a pillar for the station. He is consistent, and every day you get the same John with the same high level of performance day in and day out, and he really brings the standard up and gives you something to strive for. You know, if you're working with John, you better come with your A game because you want to perform just as well as he does. So I just really appreciate his professionalism. His spirit is so warm, and of course that emanates right through the television screen. So the same John that you feel at home is the same John that envelops this studio every day too. He will be dearly and sorely missed, but I'm so happy that he gets to retire on his own terms to enjoy his family and whatever the next steps will be. Of course, we know he has a podcast and a few other big things coming up, and I'm looking forward to seeing all that he does as he continues to flourish at this season in his life.
You spoke on missing him once he's gone.
Yeah.
What will you miss most once he cuts that light off for that final time and walks out that door?
I can't believe it. Again, it's just the consistency. Sorry. Dang.
It's okay.
I've had the privilege to work with some really great colleagues just in general in television. And he, of course, is one of the greats as well. So just having that opportunity to work with him. I'm sorry, I didn't want to do this.
Yeah.
But again, you're really blessed when you walk into a newsroom and you have people who are just so wonderful and genuine every day. And like I said, the consistency is really the thing for me. I always knew what I was going to get with John, and that was going to be the first thing. I always get here first for the most part. But when he walks in, it's, "Good morning, Miss Quay," and I just waited on that every day. And then the chit chat, and then we start cutting up after that. So it was just, it helped the days go by. Our shift is grueling, and to have the opportunity to work with such kind people every day really helps get through these crazy hours.
Yeah. Quentin, thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So as you see here at WTBD, we laugh, we joke, there's a lot of love. We also get the job done. But most importantly, we're our family. While John's time here is coming to an end, his impact, his legacy will never go unnoticed. I'm your host, Mark Stanback, and this concludes the day in the life of a production assistant. Peace.